So I want to start this video by saying I am not a scientist, I am not a doctor, I'm not a genealogist, I am not an expert. I am simply a consumer that is reviewing a product, and that product I'm going to be reviewing today is going to be Ancestry DNA and DNA testing in general. Yeah, I haven't gone to 8 years of med school, I haven't practiced science in the field, but this is still, take comfort in knowing it's still based on some science. The sites that I'm reading from were created by experts, and I've at least read a few internet articles. That definitely makes up for the 8 years of school. But anyways, without further ado, here's how I started it all. I bought my test online on Ancestry DNA, and then I got this little package in the mail. Gave me a little spit tube, and I filled up that spit tube. And then I had to enter a little code to make sure that my spit was matched up with my account so that they would send me the proper DNA information. And then I shipped it off to Ireland. But one of the things I want to mention is when you go to enter that code, it will ask you something there. It'll ask you, do you want your DNA to be used for research in the United States? And you know, I looked at that and I love research. I love what we have done with research. I love the things we've achieved. I'm a big fan of, obviously, that's why I'm doing this DNA testing. However, there's a lot of skepticism that I think is fair to have when giving away your genetic information, especially in the realm of insurance companies. People don't know what insurance companies are going to do with your DNA, whether it be deny you insurance or charge you a lot more because you are more predisposed to certain cancers or diseases, or advertisers, what advertisers could do with it. I mean, this stuff tells you crazy things, like, are you more likely to be addicted to caffeine, to are you going to have a unibrow or not? It's crazy the information we can get from genetics. So I said no to that. I mean, you can feel free to make fun of me for my tinfoil hat, but I think there's a fair skepticism surrounding that. It's very vulnerable information, but you do what you want if you decide to take the test and answer that question. And then I watched as this little bar filled up. It said shipping on the website, then it said processing in the lab, and I was just waiting for it to hit your results are in. And I was in India traveling when it finally got my results at 6 a.m. and I decided to film a video of when I got the results to get my initial reaction. But before I show that video, I want to explain a little background about why I was so surprised with my results. And it's because I knew my dad's side. I've always known my dad has been Danish. Both his grandparents, or both my grandparents rather, came from Denmark. I mean, my grandma has taken a 23andMe test and it came back like 100%, nearly 100% Scandinavian. They're all tall, blue-eyed. I was pretty confident that side of my family was Danish. My mom's side, on the other hand, is one big question mark. She's definitely European, definitely looks European. However, my grandmother was adopted and like came from England when she was like 16, and I don't really know anything about my grandpa on that side of the family. So it's been one big question mark when it comes to what my mom is, so that's why I took the test. But my identity was always Scandinavian Danish because that's what I knew. But let's see what I got. This is what I was saying. I'm going to open it and it's just going to say, you're fucking white. But here we go. Lauren Southern. What? This is really upsetting, actually. What? I'm like not Scandinavian at all. I'm like 20% Scandinavian. This doesn't make sense. My dad's 100% Scandinavian. Okay, go away, video. It's, oh my god, oh my god. It's saying I'm Spanish. I'm so confused right now. Look at this. Europe West, Scandinavian, and Iberian Peninsula. I'm so confused. I'm Spanish? I just need to take this in. I spent my whole life thinking I was almost all Scandinavian. But yeah, wow, that's really, really, really weird. How do I open this up more? Holy crap. But yeah, most of it is I'm all European. Except for, 1% Asia. That's so weird. And 1% Asia South. 1% Polynesia, Pacific Islander, and 1% Irish, and 1% Great Britain. Those are my trace regions. I'm like really freaking out over this like Spanish thing. I can't believe this. I feel like I owe an apology to my Spanish followers. I didn't mean to act so upset about being Spanish, and to my Portuguese followers for forgetting you entirely. I was just kind of shocked by my results. I mean, my worldview, I was Danish. That had all been kind of crushed all at once. It was very strange for me, but I think I have a theory as to why I am less Scandinavian than I thought I was. If you look at Denmark there, Denmark is basically overlapped with Europe West. I mean, I'm assuming after all the Viking raids and all that, there was a little bit of screwing around with Western Europeans, but also just the sampling from that area could have, they could just consider it Western European. I'm not sure. It could also be something with the site as well. Some people say that Ancestry doesn't have great samples and can be inaccurate. So I'm definitely going to take another test, probably 23andMe, to compare the results. And I'm going to have my dad take one as well, just to compare those, because I think it would be interesting. As for specifics, I didn't really get the specifics I wanted. Just kind of told you you're from that area, this area, or that area. I kind of was hoping to delve into it a little bit more. I mean, it did give me the trace regions of Pacific Islander and like Indian, which one drop rule, I can now make all the jokes I want about Pacific Islanders and Indians. But I wanted to know more. So one cool thing about DNA testing is you can download your data and you can upload it to other sites and put it through different, let's call them filters. So I found a site called gedmatch.com or gedmatch.com, not really sure which one it is. And it has a bunch of different researchers' data that you can compare to your own DNA. So from my understanding, different websites and different researchers have different pools of DNA that they've tested for you to compare where you're from. This is probably a terrible explanation of it. But for example, you can have more recent DNA to compare to people that live places, or you can have archaic DNA, for example. And I put my DNA information through one of those archaic filters to see what information I would get from that. So for example, I had this Motala, Sweden DNA sample that kind of had a match. Hello, great grandpa. I'm sorry about what happened to Sweden. I got kind of cucked up, didn't it? But I'm more sorry about what happened to you, because I Googled this test site and where they found all these bones and stuff that were like 8,000 years old. And it turns out Gramps was sacrificed in some crazy pagan ritual where he was put at the bottom of a river and had a spike driven through his head. So, yeah, good times, hey? Now, another fun thing you can do with this is you can check out your relatives on the site, or at least other people who have used the site, and they can use fake names and just have their email there. And it'll show you how closely your DNA matches and all that. And a lot of people that were related to me left their names on there. So I'm not going to put the page up here, obviously, because I don't want you guys harassing them. Not that I think you would, but I Facebooked a lot of their names, and craziest thing, a lot of these people were Trump supporters. And also, I found a lot of people that looked a lot like me. Like, there's this one older lady who had a younger picture of herself, and we were like doppelgangers. I was showing it around the office the other day, and people were like, it looks just like you. It's so weird because obviously we're not like sisters. It's not my mom or anything. We're distantly related, but it's crazy. It was just a really strange thing to see. I wish I could put up a picture. But another thing you can do with your DNA that you've downloaded is take it to a site called Prometheus. It costs like $5, which is nothing, and it'll give you information about your health connected to your genetics. And that information, a lot of people can be kind of scared to look at that information because they're like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to know what I'm predispositioned to. That's just not something I want to face. I personally find it fascinating, and I see it as a tool to potentially stop things you can get. I mean, there are two things. Most of my health stuff was really good. Like, I have apparently excellent health. Not meaning to brag, but I'd be happy if insurance companies would hack into that and give me a better rate. But I'm in Canada, so it wouldn't even matter. But anyways, there were like two things that were like kind of worrisome stuff that I was predispositioned to, and they're avoidable stuff. There's stuff that I can look out for, and I think that's so cool that you can kind of get to know this knowledge beforehand. The site Prometheus will also give you a lot more knowledge, like stuff like what color your eyes are, what color your hair is, what personality traits you'll have, whether you're more predisposition to schizophrenia, what kind of cancers you're predisposition to things like your boob size, what kind of boob size people with your genes generally have. It's really, really neat stuff. I don't know, this stuff is fascinating to me. There's so much you can delve into and so many things about your genes you can explore, and I'm definitely going to do more of it. I'm definitely going to check out 23andMe and compare them, and I would definitely suggest that you do it as well, simply because I think that history and knowing who you are and your identity is a super important thing. I mean, you had ancient ancestors that fought so hard simply so that their descendants could survive and be great. You had mothers that educated their children so that they could watch their children raise their children and their children's children so that you could become possible. I mean, I don't know. Thousands of people throughout history fought blood, tooth, and nail, educated, protected, defended, loved their children, all to make you possible. And every little bit of knowledge and care they pass down to your grandparents, your parents, and inevitably you is a part of who you are. And I just find that to be an amazing thing. DNA in general is an amazing thing. And the things we're learning from it is stuff that seems like it should be lost in history. I think that you would really be missing out on something if you didn't delve into this knowledge and go on this adventure yourself. So I definitely suggest it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I don't upload very often. I'll try more, but I can definitely assure you that I will upload again to this channel. So stay tuned. And if you enjoyed this video, just hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.